My beloved child, listen closely to every word I am speaking to you now. For this is not merely advice, it is an urgent directive flowing from eternity. From the place where I dwell, I see what your eyes cannot yet perceive, and I understand what your limited mind has yet to grasp. And now, I am revealing to you a crucial truth, because the hour is urgent, and you must act without delay. There are individuals drawing near to you whose hearts no longer belong to the light. Their gentle words are a carefully crafted mask, concealing schemes that were conceived in the shadows. They speak of peace, but harbor intentions of war. They smile, yet beneath that smile simmers the slow burn of betrayal. You must not let their appearances deceive your soul, for it is in moments of complacency that many have walked straight into snares, unaware of the danger. But I do not want you to be among them. I do not want you to be swallowed by darkness because you mistook deception for kindness. My child, you must hide yourself, not because I desire you to live in fear, but because I am guiding you to a place of safety where the enemy cannot reach you. They have conspired, they have set traps, and they assume you are oblivious. But I, the one who searches the depths of every heart, have seen every scheme woven in the dark. I have seen the silent conversations, the distorted promises, and the footsteps led by blind spiritual influence. Nothing escapes my gaze. I love you too much to remain silent in the face of what is approaching. I love you not only with gentleness, but also with holy warning. Not every word I speak will be easy to hear, but every word I release is wrapped in pure love deep enough to keep you from falling into destruction. When I raise my voice to caution you, it is not because I doubt you, but because I am shielding you from the unseen and the misunderstood. You see, some of the unrest you feel inside is not born from vague anxiety or overactive imagination. It is the signal of the Holy Spirit within you, speaking up. I have placed within your soul a sacred gift of discernment. This is not human intuition. It is the divine ability to detect distortion in the spiritual atmosphere, even when everything on the surface seems perfectly fine. The trembling you sense is not random. It is how I speak to you when language has not yet taken form. When I command you to walk away from a place, it is not because you lack strength, but because I have already seen what is still hidden from your view. I see the snare being laid. I hear the whispers cloaked in secrecy. I know the plots behind the fake smiles and the words that appear kind, but are laced with deceit. Therefore, when I say to you, hid yourself, do not hesitate. This is not retreat. This is preparation for a sacred shift, a breakthrough step in the realm of the Spirit. My beloved child, there are people in your life who once carried light, who were once anointed by me, and who were placed beside you as a blessing, but over time, they failed to preserve the purity of their hearts. They allowed themselves to be infected by envy, by schemes, by alluring but dangerous invitations from the darkness. Once bitterness seeps into the soul, it begins to alter the spiritual atmosphere of a person. And now, their presence beside you no longer offers the peace it once did. You cannot remain close to such souls without being affected, just like standing near burning coals though you do not touch them. The heat can still leave a mark. Your spirit was designed to be sensitive to what is holy, but if you continually expose yourself to those who no longer walk in obedience to me, you will gradually feel heavy, clouded, and lose the sensitivity you once had. Therefore, I tell you, separate yourself, not because I desire you to live in isolation, but because I am protecting you from invisible, destructive influences. My child, you must learn to honor that still small voice within. The signs I send are never without reason. Sometimes it is a dream that jolts you awake with a pounding heart. At other times, it is an inexplicable unease every time you interact with a certain person. Sometimes, it is a series of coincidences so repetitive that you are forced to stop and reflect. None of these things are accidental. They are the language of the spirit alarm bells ringing through the invisible realm. Remember that I am the one who never acts hastily without first giving warning. History testifies to this truth. Before judgment came, I always sent a word to my people. Before the flood arrived, I instructed Noah to build the ark. Before Sodom fell, I led Lot and his family out. Before every shaking, I have always spoken to those who have ears to hear. And now, I am doing the same with you. Do not ignore the warning signs I have given. Do not dismiss the unrest in your heart, thinking it is simply fatigue or oversensitivity. Do not persuade yourself that everything will be fine when your spirit is trembling, raging with a nameless alarm. That is life trying to awaken you from spiritual slumber. That is my love, screaming through the silence. My dear one, there will be those who do not understand you when you follow this call. Some will say you are too harsh, too closed off, too cautious. But do not let human judgments drown out the voice from heaven. They cannot see what I have shown you. They do not hear what I whisper into your heart. They do not feel the invisible pressure your soul is carrying. Therefore, do not seek agreement from the world. Seek confirmation from the Holy Spirit. Now, I speak to you plainly. Withdraw from places where my presence no longer dwells. Remain silent before mouths that wear wisdom, but are filled with deceit. Shut the door of your soul to relationships that are corroding you from within. Not everyone who draws near you is sent by me. And not everyone who was once used by me is still walking in obedience today. Hide yourself in me. Seek the quiet place to hear my voice. Let me lead you to a place of safety. For ahead lies a moment of great transition. And if you do not listen now, you may forfeit what I am preparing. But if you obey, if you trust me more than your own emotions, then what is coming will not destroy you, it will elevate you. And on that day, you will understand why I warned you today. You will look back and be grateful that you listened. You will see that my warning was never meant to frighten, but to mark the depth of a love that would never leave you to face what's coming alone. Leave now. Cut off every relationship that is silently corroding your soul. Step away from the sweet-sounding words that are empty of truth. Do not let your delay become the very doorway through which harm enters. For my desire is not merely to see you rescued, but to see you made whole, to see you rise, to see you walk fully into the destiny I prepared for you before the foundation of the world. My child, you are the one I have chosen. Because of that, you are a target of the enemy. He does not come against you because you are weak, but because you carry within you the power and purpose of heaven. Yet if you obey my voice, no force can lay a hand on you. I will hide you in the secret place of my presence, under the shadow of the Almighty. There, no scheme will prevail, and no weapon shall pierce through. Beloved, I call you to rise in awareness. Clothe yourself in the armor of light. Walk as one who knows to whom they belong. Do not fear the loneliness, For in that solitude you will hear my voice with clarity. Do not fear what you may lose, for what I have prepared for you far surpasses anything you think you are leaving behind. Even now, child, withdraw from the place of danger and enter into the safety I have prepared. Do not let your heart be swayed by the gentle persuasions of man. Listen to my voice, the voice that flows out of love, out of divine protection, and from the destiny I am calling you to embrace. Do you know this? My child, darkness rarely announces its arrival with noise. It seeps in quietly, like the morning mist, like a vague sense that lingers in the mind. It does not rush but waits, gnawing patiently at the unseen corners of your soul, until the light no longer has a place to dwell. That is why I emphasize the need for discernment not only with your natural eyes but with the deep perception of your spirit. Imagine your soul as a garden. If you do not tend it, prune it, and keep the weeds from growing, it will soon be overtaken by thorns and shadows. I have planted within you the seeds of life, but you must nurture them daily. The enemy will try to sow seeds of doubt, frustration, and weariness into that garden. If you are unaware, the tender shoots of truth will be choked out before they bear fruit. My child, not everyone around you, even those who appear gentle, still carry the light within. Some have unknowingly become instruments of deception. They may not intend to harm you, but if their presence is not rightly discerned, they can lead you away from the path of holiness. For influence does not only come through words and deeds, it flows through the unseen atmosphere that their souls carry with them. This is why, my beloved, I keep calling you to discern, not to judge, but to protect, not to condemn, but to preserve the sacred light within you. Ask me, and I will show you what the natural eye cannot perceive. Seek me, and I will guide you away from crossroads that appear enticing, but lead to confusion and ruin. My words to you are not meant to stir fear, but to awaken you. For only when your soul remains pure can what I have destined for you truly bloom. Only when your heart is guarded from the poison of darkness will my voice resound clearly within your spirit. My beloved child, do not take lightly the words I am speaking to you now. This is the care of the Creator for the child he treasures. This is how I guard you as a mother cradles her infant in her arms. And this is also the moment in which you must choose between fleeting comfort and enduring faithfulness to the divine calling that is knocking at the door of your soul. Be courageous enough to walk away from what no longer belongs to you. Hold on to the light, even when those around you choose the darkness. And remember this, wherever I dwell, there is always a way forward, always hope, and always arms wide open, waiting to welcome you back home. When I call you to step away from the familiar, it is not because I desire you to abandon everything, but because I am leading you into a journey of profound transformation. The place to which I am bringing you is not a temporary refuge, but a sacred space set apart for purification, healing, and spiritual training. There, you will relearn how to hear my voice in the stillness, how to walk by faith instead of sight, and how to trust what I am doing, even when your eyes cannot yet perceive it. My child, you may feel as though you are being isolated, pushed away from the embrace of others. But understand this, you are not being abandoned, you are being set apart. I am drawing you out from mixtures, from distractions, from the subtle compromises you've grown accustomed to treating as a normal part of life. I am giving you a rare opportunity to be wholly sanctified, untouched by the clamor of the world. In this hidden place, you will rediscover your true essence, a soul etched by my eternal love. A masterpiece beyond compare. In my eyes, you will come to realize that your value does not stem from social connections, human approval, or the roles you've been filling. Your worth is rooted in one truth alone: you belong to me. And once you fully grasp this, you will begin to walk with a freedom and confidence you've never known before. There is a widespread deception that has crept into the hearts of many who believe in mythe, false belief that outward activity equates to true spiritual maturity. But I do not measure you by what you do for me, but by how close your heart is to mine. And in order to build that intimacy, I must sometimes call you away from the crowds, from busy routines, from the noise of daily life, so that you may learn how to dwell deeply in my presence. My dear one, when I close a door, it is because I am preparing to open another, far greater one. But the condition is this: your soul must be ready to cross its threshold. I never lead you into a hidden season just to leave you there indefinitely. I bring you into it so that I can lay within you an unshakable foundation. For when the time comes for you to step out again, you will be able to stand firm against the storms I know are ahead. This is not punishment, it is grace. Do not resist the concealment I am orchestrating in your life. Do not dismiss the days that seem aimless or empty. Do not underestimate the silent moments, for it is in that stillness that I speak to you in the language of holiness, of preparation, and of unconditional love. You are being refined to become a vessel of purpose in my hands. And this hidden season is the sacred process by which I am shaping your soul into the glorious image I have destined for you from the beginning. My child, trust the process I am leading you through. Know that nothing happening in your life is random. It is all carefully designed by the hand of the one who loves you most. And in this hidden place, where silence and solitude wrap around you, you will come to realize that my presence is truly enough for you. Beloved, in this time of being hidden, you are not only being protected from the schemes of the enemy, but you are also being healed from the lingering wounds you've long forgotten. There are scars buried beneath layers of busyness and concealment, wounds you no longer speak of, hurts you've numbed just to carry on. But I see every crack in your soul. And now, as the noise outside stills for a while, I am placing my healing hand upon every broken place, restoring you by the very power of my love and grace. Allow me to open the chambers of your heart that you've been afraid to face. Let me shine light into those corners you've kept hidden, places that hold pain, disappointment, or dreams long buried beneath disappointment. I have not come to judge you, but to rescue you, not to shame you, but to restore you to the sacred image I etched upon your soul from the beginning of time. Let this truth sink deep. This season is not a delay, it is a divine process of restoration. You are in a time of deep reconstruction, like a cracked vessel in the hands of a master potter being mended, reinforced, and renewed from the inside out. Each Kiat day, each moment you choose to remain in my presence instead of chasing the voices of the world, is one more step toward the wholeness I am building within you. Remember, no tower can stand strong unless the foundation is dug deep. And I, the one constructing your life, you know precisely what it takes to establish a foundation that will withstand every storm. What you are going through is not without purpose. Every tear shed in silence, every whispered prayer, every step taken quietly into my presence. They are all sacred materials in the eternal work I am building within your soul. Beloved, do not be in haste to emerge before the appointed time. There are things that can only grow in the soil of patience. Just as a child must remain in the womb for 9 months to be fully formed, so too must you remain in this hidden place until what I've planted in you can take deep root. If you step out too soon, the seeds will not be grounded, and you will be vulnerable to temptation, opposition, and the distorted expectations of others. I know your heart longs to be used, to see fruit, to walk in the fullness of my promises. But understand this: true fruit does not grow from hastite, is born out of a life deeply rooted in me. This is why I have invited you into this process, a process that is neither short nor easy, but one that will lead you into the spiritual fullness you have secretly yearned for all along. In this holy sanctuary I have set apart for you, I will open your ears to hear what many miss in the noise. I will open your eyes to see the path I have prepared. I will renew your mind, so you may think with the mind of Christ. And most of all, I will give you a new heart, a heart that beats with what I feel, that loves what I love, and despises what I despise. From that sacred place, I will send you not merely as a messenger, but as the very embodiment of the message itself. My child, if you are willing to remain with me, you allow me to complete my work in the hidden place, then the day you step out will be the day all of heaven rejoices. You will no longer walk in anxiety, but in assurance. You will no longer be led by emotion, but by divine wisdom, and you will no longer be easily shaken, but become a spiritual warrior, ready to contend for my kingdom. Stay in me. Allow me to shape you in humility, obedience, and absolute trust. And when this season of hiddenness comes to its end, I will bring you forth in the glory that I myself have prepared for you, a glory not given by men, but from the Creator who called you out of darkness and into his marvelous light. During this time when I am setting you apart from the crowds, I am also separating you from the things that once defined your identity according to the patterns of the world, titles, connections, and outward validation that once made you feel valuable. These I am gently removing, not to disorient you, but so that you may learn to define yourself in me alone, not through the eyes of man. My beloved, the place I am leading you into is one where holiness cannot coexist with pretense, where my presence will burn away everything that is not real within you. This is a place of refinement, where only the purest essence of who I created you to be will remain, and only when the outer layers of disguise are stripped away will the light within you shine forth unhindered. You will come to know that weakness is not failure, but the very place where my power is made perfect. When you stop clinging to your own strength, when you no longer depend on your intellect or abilities, that is when you begin to walk by true faith. And that faith will become the foundation upon which I will build you into a powerful spiritual influencino, because of outward recognition, but because of your quiet fellowship with me in the smallest of things. My child, do not fear when I take away what you once thought was essential. The losses in this season are not punishments. They are deliverance from attachments that tied you to earthly patterns, not heavenly ones. I am leading you out of unhealthy comfort zones so that you may learn to live in complete dependence on me. And in that dependence, you will discover a new kind of strength not born of control, but birthed in surrender. You will taste a different kind of freedom, a serenity that is not dictated by circumstances. My peace will not resemble the peace that the world offers. because it is not shaken by what happens around you. It flows from my very presence dwelling in your spirit, and you will find yourself standing firm even when everything else seems to fall apart. Oh, beloved, this is the season where I am rewriting the definition of success in your life. No longer will it be about applause, but about obedience. No longer about chasing after accomplishments, but knowing how to pause and abide with me. No longer about longing for swift results, but about walking slowly and steadily according to every small instruction I give. This is how I train those whom I have chosen to carry an influence that is both lasting and authentic. My beloved child, the day I call you to step out of the hidden place, you will not need to prove anything to anyone. The light from deep within you, where I have placed my promises, healing, and transformation, will speak for itself. No one can deny what I have done in you. You will walk with the gentleness of one who has been set free, but with the authority of one who has been in my presence long enough to know what is true and what is false. I am preparing you for something greater than yourself. What I am about to do through you will touch many lives, not because you are skilled, but because you have learned how to remain in me, and in that stillness, you have become strong. In that hiddenness, you have been given the key. In that purification, you have become a precious vessel. Child, remain humble. Continue to abide in me even when you begin to see the results. Never leave the place where you have been transformed. For true greatness is not found in the position you occupy among the crowd, but in the depth of your relationship with me in the secret place. Now, I establish you as one who carries the sacred fire, one who will shine not by eloquent words, but by a presence that brings peace, truth, and unwavering love. And when you step out of this hidden season, everything I have promised will begin to take shape, not by your strength, but by my presence with you forever. As you begin to emerge from this season of concealment, you will notice that the world around you will no longer be the same. Not because the world has changed, but because you have been transformed. Your eyes now see everything with the wisdom of the Holy Spirit, and your heart is no longer swayed by praise or criticism as it once was. I have renewed you from the inside out, so that you can stand firm when everything outside seems unstable. My child, I did not bring you through this season of hiding so you could live isolated, but so that you could be rebuilt according to the image of divine wisdom and spiritual power. Now, as you are ready to step out, I will guide you along paths that have been predestined, not by human will, but by the plan I wrote for you before the foundation of the world. Your steps, if obedient to me, will become holy marks upon this earth. You will be brought to places that once seemed unreachable, not because you are better, but because you have learned how to carry my presence. And it is that presence that will open doors no human strength could ever push. Those who once rejected you will not be able to deny the light within you. The places that once shut you out will automatically welcome you. For I go before you as a burning fire, consuming every barrier. My child, you do not need to strive to build influence. Simply walk in me, and influence will flow from you like an endless stream. Wherever you set foot, peace will follow. Whenever you speak, of truth will be revealed. And when you touch the broken-hearted, healing power will flow like living water. I am bringing you into a new season, a season of revelation, where the things that were once planted in secret will now be seen openly. But remember, the light you radiate does not come from your own efforts, but from your intimate connection with me. Every victory you achieve is not to exalt you, but to glorify me. And if you remain humble, I will lift you higher, in ways that no eye has seen. My child, there will be those who will not understand you. There will be those who will doubt the journey you have gone through. And they will ask, who has commanded this one? Why the drastic change? Is this really true? But do not falter because of these words. They do not know the tears you have shed in silence. They do not see the hours you have spent on your knees in solitude. And they cannot hear the words I have whispered in the dark of night. But I know, I was there, and I am the one who speaks the final word. My beloved child, let your heart remain steadfast, unmoved by shifting winds or the opinions of men. When I have spoken, nothing can stand in the way. When I open a door, no one can shut it. And when I place my grace upon you, no accusation can overshadow that truth. So walk forward in that assurance as one who knows where they belong and understands the sacred mission they carry. In this new season, you will no longer need to chase after others to be accepted. Instead, people will come to you, drawn by what I have sown within you. They will come because of the light you carry, light that illuminates their path. They will listen, not because your voice is loud, but because it echoes mine, resounding from the depths of your spirit. And above all, you will find yourself walking in a deep and unshakable peace, one that does not depend on circumstance, but flows from the very presence of the Eternal One who walks beside you every moment of the day. My dear child, now that you have stepped into the season of unveiling, I want you to understand that what I am doing through you goes far beyond human capacity. Every action, every word, every moment of your presence now carries a divine weight, not because of your own strength, but because of my outpouring through your life. You are a vessel, not the source. And because I am the source, there is no limit to what I can do through you. I desire for you to live with the awareness that every day you draw breath is a day I long to shine through you, not by outward grandeur, but by unwavering authenticity. Let the light you carry shine, not just in public moments, but in the quiet ones too, the way you truly listen to someone, in the silent help you offer, in the forgiveness you extend even without an apology. That is where I dwell, and that is how my kingdom expands. You are not only an instrument in my hands, you are a living testimony of my grace. When others look at you, I want them to see a vivid picture of faithfulness, perseverance, and redeeming power. I did not choose you because you were perfect. I chose you because you were willing to be transformed by me, and that willingness is more precious than any skill or talent. I can do the impossible through a heart that simply says, yes. And, my child, in this new season, things will come your way that you could never have prepared for in your own strength. There will be unexpected conversations, doors that suddenly open, and invitations you never saw coming. Do not let them overwhelm you. Stay anchored in the peace I have placed within you. If an opportunity comes from me, it will not rob you of your rest. Even if it comes with challenges, if it originates from man, it will bring pressure and confusion. Use the discernment I have taught you to recognize the difference. Always remember, prominence is never the goal. It is simply the result of a life fully surrendered to me. You do not need to seek the spotlight. If light is to shine upon you, let it be so. Others may see me in you. And if you must walk through seasons of hiddenness, know that in that very obscurity, I am recording every act of faithfulness done in secret. Not a single deed, no matter how small, escapes my notice. I am leading you on a journey you never imagined. There will be moments that feel too heavy to carry. There will be times when you feel misunderstood. But there will also be miraculous moments when you see me moving through you in ways that could only come from heaven. And in those moments, you will know deep in your spirit that every waiting season, every hidden chapter, and every quiet yes you've spoken has eternal value. Let your heart remain tender before me. Do not let your service become a duty, but let it always be born out of love. For it is love that sustains the fire during difficult days. Love me first, then love others with that same love. Care for the souls I have placed near you not out of obligation, but because you see my image in them. I am granting you influence, but you must learn to carry it as a steward, not as an owner. What I have placed in your hands is meant to be multiplied, not stored away. When you live a life of sharing, giving, and lifting others up, you are creating a path for many more souls to begin their journey with me. My child, this is the season where I have called you not only to bring light, but to become light, not only to speak of life, but to live as evidence of it, not only to walk by faith, but to lead others into the abundance of life. You cannot do this alone, but you were never meant to. I am with you, and because of that, everything I have spoken will come to pass. My beloved one, now that you have entered the new spiritual season I have prepared for you, I invite you to look back not with regret or fear, but to recognize my hand silently weaving all things together out of love for you. Every trial, every tear, every silent moment was not in vain. They were precious stones, refined in the dark, now ready to shine in the light. You are no longer who you used to be. You have been molded in the furnace of my presence, refined in the long nights of prayer, and upheld by the very breath of my spirit. Everything that has happened was not meant to weaken you, but to fortify you for the greater journey that now unfolds before you. In this season, I am drawing you into a deeper communion with me, a closeness that transcends words, where your soul and my spirit move in such harmony that the line between them fades. You will no longer merely hear me with physical ears, but will sense my leading in every breath, every prompting, every subtle stirring. I will speak in stillness and in motion, in dreams and in the simplest of words, and you will learn to respond even in the absence of clear instruction, because your heart will have been trained to beat in rhythm with my will. Do not think, my child, that what I am doing is just for you. What I have sown into your heart is for the sake of other souls who are longing for what you carry. There are people you have never met who are waiting for a word, a gesture, a touch from me delivered through you. And so I call you to walk not only with awareness, but with deep compassion, a love that goes beyond what the eyes can see, to discern the hidden needs buried in the hearts of others. You will see me open up new circumstances, places where your very presence brings peace into the atmosphere. You will not need to strive to change anyone, for it is my presence within you that will do the work. Just be who you are in me, and that light will uncover what has been hidden, heal what has been broken, and soothe the souls that have been silently struggling. My beloved child, in this season, I will grant you a new kind of faith, not the kind that merely waits, but the kind that moves. You will no longer just hope, but begin to walk as if the promise has already come to pass. You will speak, pray, and live as though the door has already opened. For in the spiritual realm, they have indeed opened. And it is through your courage to step into what is still unseen that you will witness my power revealed in ways never experienced before. My child, be prepared for sudden changes. There will be doors that close without warning, not because you have failed, but because their time has ended. And there will also be new things that appear suddenly, like thunder breaking through a clear sky. Do not be surprised. I am leading you according to my timeline, not yours. Learn to let go of control and walk in absolute trust. Do not let your heart be shaken when everything feels like it is being stirred once again. This is not a sign of failure, but a confirmation that I am renewing all things. The shaking comes to break down unstable foundations, so that all that remains is firmly established in me. And you, my beloved, are part of that construction. When the shaking comes, do not cling to what is old merely because it feels familiar. What was useful in the previous season can become a burden in the current one if you are not willing to let go. I have not called you to live by memories, but by my present guidance. Allow me to renew your mind daily, so that you are not confined by past experiences, but remain tender to the breath of my spirit. There are things I will ask you to walk away from, which you may not understand at first, but when you obey, you will begin to see how the invisible dust that once clouded your spiritual vision slowly lifts. I will clear away every layer of fog, so that you may clearly see the path I have set before you, a path not meant for everyone to comprehend, but one that leads directly to the eternal purpose I have inscribed uniquely for you. In this new season, I will sharpen your spiritual ears. My whispers will become more distinct, and you will learn to discern my voice from the many echoes that fight for your attention. Confusion will dissolve when you linger long enough in my presence. Wisdom will come, not through analysis, but through deep abiding with me in stillness. My child, I am teaching you to walk not by instinct, but by refined faith, no longer led by what seems reasonable, but by divine direction, no longer desperate for human validation, but firmly anchored in the word I have engraved within your spirit. You will see that it is in those decisions no one else understands that I will reveal the greatness of my plan for your life. I am also expanding your heart to love more deeply, to forgive more quickly, and to become more sensitive to the pain of others. You will become a shelter for weary souls, a bridge for the lost to find their way again. But to do that, you must allow me to soften your heart. Do not hold on to past wounds as weapons of defense. Let me transform them into wells of living water that refresh the souls of those around you. And child, in this season, love will be the most powerful language you can speak. Not eloquent words, not visible achievements, but kindness expressed through concrete acts, a timely hug, a small word of encouragement, a quiet gesture. These are what will create a profound impact in someone's life. Love as I love without conditions, without expecting anything in return. My beloved child, I am teaching you how to live from the inside out, no longer driven by external circumstances, but guided by eternal truth. You will walk as one who has learned to draw from me daily the source of life, the source of peace, the source of wisdom, and as you live from the deepest place of your relationship with me, you will never run dry. Even when you are constantly giving, true maturity is not measured by achievements, but by inner stability. And I am building within you a fortress that cannot be shaken, a dwelling place where I can abide, a sacred space where others can encounter me through your life. You are a living temple, cleansed, renewed, and anointed to reflect my glory in a broken world. Therefore, continue to keep your heart simple yet strong, your spirit tender yet courageous. For in this season, I will do things beyond your expectations, not because you are worthy, but because I love you and have chosen you for an eternal purpose. My dear one, when you learn to live from the hidden place of my presence, you will realize that everything you need has already been placed within your reach. It is not something distant, but close woven into every breath, every quiet moment when you still your soul. That stillness is the very atmosphere where you hear me most clearly, not through intermediaries, not through noise, but through the living connection between you and me. Child, I am leading you into a season where every step you take carries spiritual weight. The choices that may seem small will impact great currents in the unseen realm. That is why I am teaching you to become more sensitive than ever. Every decision, every word, every thought must be filtered through the light of discernment. You can no longer live superficially. The calling over your life is sacred, and you can no longer afford to overlook the seemingly insignificant. You are living in a time where darkness is increasing its influence, but do not be afraid, for I will never allow the light to be overtaken. On the contrary, I am calling forth ones like you, those who have been refined in my presento, become lamps that cannot be hidden. You will find yourself placed in dark places, not to be consumed, but to illuminate. Your very presence, even without many words, will shift the spiritual atmosphere around you. In this season, I will also test your heart through something that appears very simple: faithfulness, not in grand, public moments, but in your daily perseverance. I will watch how you treat those who cannot repay you, how you respond when no one sees, and how you remain upright when there is no applause. That is where I find those I can entrust with greater things. Know this: not a single act done in sincerity is ever forgotten before me. Every quiet sacrifice, every time you choose love instead of judgment, every moment you stand firm when you could have collapsed, it is all recorded. Nothing you do for me is in vain. These are being gathered into an eternal echo. And one day, you will taste the sweet fruit of that unseen obedience. My beloved child, I am placing upon your lips the fire of my word. When you pray, your words will not fall to the ground in vain. I will cause your lips to become like a double-edged sword, cutting through deception and proclaiming truth. When you speak what I have placed in your heart, it will release freedom, bring healing, and establish new beginnings in the souls of others. But remember, that flame can only be sustained if you remain in me, the source of all life. I am training you to become a builder, not of physical structures, but of hearts. You will encourage, uplift, and awaken what has been forgotten in others, not by force, but through the presence saturated with true love. I will make you a voice for those who have lost theirs, and hands for those who no longer have the strength to rise. Therefore, O child of light, continue walking in courage. Stand firm in the knowledge that you are not alone, not abandoned, not lost. Everything is operating under the order of heaven, and every step you take, even in silence, is being recorded before my throne, and when the time is fulfilled, I will lead you into the next phase, where glory does not come from human applause, but from the deep satisfaction of a life that pleases me. Now that you are nearing the final stretch of your season of preparation, I am calling you into the season of unveiling, not to showcase anything of yourself, but to reflect my presence within you more clearly than ever before. This is no longer just a season of sowing, it is the beginning of harvest, not by your strength, but by my accompaniment. Every small thing in which you have been faithful will begin to bear fruit. My child, do you remember when you chose forgiveness instead of revenge, when you interceded quietly for others in hours when no one was watching, when you refused to compromise even though it cost you comfort? These moments, my child, have not been forgotten. On the contrary, I have gathered them as sacred seeds, and now I myself am causing them to bloom. Beloved, I am opening before your eyes fields ripe for harvest. You will see others strengthened simply by your peaceful presence. You will witness doors opening not by effort, but because I have ordained them long before. The words you speak under the guidance of the Holy Spirit will be like arrows hitting their mark, awakening souls that seem to have dried out of hope. For you no longer speak from reason, but from that deep place where you and I have met. Child, do not be surprised when strange and wondrous things begin to unfold. Those who once opposed you will return seeking wisdom from you. Places that seemed barren will bloom under the very steps of your feet, not because you are great, but because I am walking within you. My name is glorified through the simplicity of faithfulness, and that very faithfulness has cleared the path for me to act without limitation. You will soon begin to sense an increase in spiritual sensitivity. Dreams, impressions, confirmations from Scripture will come to you in waves. Do not be afraid. Do not think you are imagining things. It is I expanding your spiritual antennae so you can receive faster, clearer, and deeper the things I desire to reveal. And I will teach you how to distinguish between my voice and others, between true vision and illusion. In this time, you must guard the holiness of your mind with greater diligence. Do not let what is meaningless creep in like a thief in the night. Watch over the gates of your eyes, ears, and heart. Stay away from conversations that do not carry life. For inner purity is the unhindered channel through which grace flows. You are not called to live withdrawn, but you are called to live filtered according to heavenly standards. My dear child, this season demands decisiveness. There are relationships, though not inherently harmful, that are no longer aligned with your path. There are habits that once seemed harmless, but have now become hindrances. I will make it clear to you what must be kept and what must be released. Do not delay. Do not look back in regret. For every act of obedience you offer, a new door will be opened. I never remove anything from your life without preparing to give you something better, greater, and deeper in return. Let your heart be bold in stillness. Live as a warrior clothed in light armor, unburdened by human expectations. Fix your eyes on me, for only I know with precision the road you are to take. And with every step, you will feel more tangibly than ever before that you are being led, not by fleeting emotion, but by a divine wind that is carrying you into your destiny. I am preparing to usher you across a threshold, an appointed turning point, where you will not only walk in your calling but bear my mark upon everything you do. What you once did by faith will now bear visible fruit. What once existed only in hope will become tangible, something you can hold in your hands, see with your eyes, and feel with the fullness of your heart. I am calling you to live in the flow of daily miracles, not as rare events, but as a way of life. You will witness things that seem coincidental unfold in perfect harmony and divine timing. You will see your prayers answered swiftly, not because you have earned it, but because you are now standing in the place I have long prepared for you. When you are where I have called you to be, at the time I have ordained, all things will align effortlessly, like rivers flowing into the sea. With glory will also come testing. The things you have built will be tested by fire. The truths you hold dear will be challenged by doubt. The declarations you make will be dismissed by those without spiritual ears to hear. I tell you this not to cause fear, but to remind you that endurance is the foundation of lasting revelation. If you remain unshaken, I will elevate your name among those who once looked down on you. Do not strive to defend your own reputation. Let me be the one who safeguards your honor. When others speak falsely about you, do not rush to explain. When you are overlooked, do not chase the spotlight. When the promise seems delayed, do not grow weary. For what belongs to me cannot be stolen, and what I have promised will undoubtedly come to pass. My child, in this season, what I require from you is consistency. Keep doing what is right, even when no one sees. Keep loving, even when it is not returned. Keep interceding, even when results are not yet visible. For faithfulness in small things is the hallmark of a heart that has truly been sent. You do not need to appear great in the eyes of man to cause a mighty shift in the spiritual realm. You only need to remain firmly planted in the place I have assigned to you, like an unmovable pillar. And I will also open the door to new divine connections. You will encounter people, not by coincidence, but through heavenly design. Some will uplift you. Some will need your strength. Some will walk with you for a season. Others for the long journey. But all of them are part of my arrangement, so that you will not have to walk alone. Open your heart, but also discern. Love deeply, but pray continuously. I will show you who is who. Beloved child, this is the time when you must not lean on your own understanding. Every decision, no matter how small, must be soaked in prayer. My desire is not just for you to succeed, but to walk rightly. Accuracy and direction matters more than the speed of arrival. And if you are willing to listen, I will guide every step through the peace I place in your spirit. You will come to see that each day in this season is a privilege. Every morning is a new opportunity to witness my hand at work. Every night is a sacred pause to give thanks for what I have accomplished in the unseen. Do not rush through life. Live deeply. Take time to remember, to feel, to give thanks. For it is gratitude that will keep you grounded in humility. And humility will shield you from the pride that may arise when blessings pour out without warning. This is a sacred turning point, a moment where everything I have sown into your heart is entering the season of blossoming and bearing fruit. This is no longer merely a journey of faith, but a journey of confirmation. I am affirming you before heaven, before the earth, and even before the forces in the unseen realm, that you are the one sent. the one anointed, and the one placed precisely within my eternal plan. My child, do not hesitate when I call you to step into a new position. I know there are moments when you feel unworthy, when you question your adequacy, but it is that very humility which is the evidence that you are ready. Those who rely on themselves cannot carry my glory, but those who lean on me will uphold them with my mighty hand. This is the hour when I want you to speak what I am speaking. Go where I am going, and reach those whom I have placed before you. Your every action now is no longer a personal response, but a part of the divine flow that is moving through the spiritual timeline of history. You are a link in the heavenly chain of events being unveiled on earth, and your obedience will become the doorway through which an entire generation will be touched. Know this: there are people standing at the edge, on the verge of letting go, needing only a single loving glance, a sincere prayer of intercession, or one timely act of kindness to keep them from giving up on faith. I am entrusting them to you not because you are flawless, but because you have endured refinement. The cracks within you will be the very places through which I pour life into others. And in that brokenness, I will bring forth a beauty that cannot be denied. Do not wait until you feel fully ready. I do not require your perfection. I ask for your willingness. Every step you take from this point forward will be a declaration that you have surrendered your own way to pursue my higher will. And on that path, I will go before you. I will act through you, and I will receive glory through your obedience. Now, my child, when trials come, do not let your heart be shaken. The shaking is not meant to destroy you, but to reveal the strength of the foundation on which you stand. When the winds blow fiercely, it is the tree with deep roots that remains unshaken. You are that tree rooted deeply in my love, watered by grace, and now ready to bear sweet fruit for those hungering for true life. My beloved one, I am also granting you a rare and sacred privilege to see with your own eyes the fulfillment of what I have promised. You will not only live by faith, but you will witness my faithfulness in every area you've surrendered your family, your work, your heart. All of it will reflect a transformation not born of human hands, but of my sovereign intervention. Hold tightly to gratitude. Remember the path I have led you on from the dark valleys into the place of radiant light. Recount the miracles that unfolded in the quiet. Cherish each tear that was sown in faith, for the harvest has come not with fanfare, but with deep fulfillment, not for the sake of receiving praise, but to give praise to me, the one who has been faithful every step of the way. Even now, I affirm you as a lamp set upon a hill, a stronghold that cannot be hidden. Walk forward with courage. Live with the mindset of one who has been prepared, refined, and commissioned. And in every step ahead, whether smooth or rugged, you will never be alone. For I, the faithful one, will walk with you always. Please subscribe and turn on the notification bell so that together we may receive the living words, build an unshakable faith, and walk in the boundless love of the Lord. Amen.